Hey guys, it's Pico here, and this is part 4 of my Assassin's Creed badly designed full sync objectives video series. So this mission is Dive Bomb, which is part of episode 2 called The Betrayal for Tyranny of King Washington DLC. And basically what we have to do is kill all of the guards in this warehouse with this new Eagle Flight ability. Technically you don't have to use it, but you have to use it for the full sync. So you might as well use it. But basically you have to kill all of these guards while remaining undetected and perform three eagle assassinations in this warehouse. So basically what you do for that is you have like a cursor that you can see on the screen there, and when you hold down the triangle button or whatever tool button is mapped to that button, you can hold it down and you can assassinate people from the Eagle Flight power, which is actually pretty cool. So you basically have a ranged assassination. So that's the first one, but I actually ended up failing this because I tried to get 2 guards at once because I get greedy, and for some reason it doesn't work. Even though in the first part, I clearly killed 2 guards with 1 eagle assassination, so you can clearly do a double assassination from it. But somehow it didn't work, and I tried to get them while they were like crossing by next to each other, and it didn't work somehow, which is kind of dumb. So I don't know why the detection for the double assassination from the Eagle Flight tends to be bad, but it is, so it kind of screws me over. And then here, for some reason, the grenadier, like one of these grenadiers isn't walking away like he did before, so I don't know why he's just like stuck. So I'm just sitting here like, why is he not moving? Like he's normally supposed to go into that middle area and just walk around, but he just doesn't. Even though he was clearly doing it easily on his own in the attempt before I restarted checkpoint. So I don't know what's up with him. So now I just try to go for one of these guys down here. So just wait for the other guy to walk away, and then I go for this guy. And I have to go back up to these rafters so I can get like a good vantage point. So this Eagle Flight power is basically like the precursor to the rope launcher in Syndicate, which we'll be getting more to Syndicate in the next video, because this is actually the end of AC3. So in this video we'll be finishing up AC3 and then get to AC4, and then once we get to AC4 and finish that up, we'll get to Rogue and Unity and Syndicate, and then that will be the end of this series. But in the rope launcher in Syndicate is basically a thing that they gave you to make it easier to go across rooftops and gaps, which is kind of dumb, because if you need a skill like that to be able, or like an item to be able to actually move around the game world easily, then you made your game in the wrong setting, and you just chose a bad setting for your game if you have to give the player something to make it easier to traverse the game world, which is just bad design, and I hate it. It's just annoying. But this is AC3, so I'm gonna stop talking about Syndicate. So I just poison 2 of the other guards, and when they're poisoned, they're too focused on dying, so they can't see me kill the other guy. So I eagle assassinate the last guy, and then I get the 2 full sync objectives. And then the last one that we have to do for this mission is just to use the eagle assassination on Franklin while he's running away. But this mission is kind of dumb, as I included it because in the warehouse section, I've had times doing this mission where I've just got detected tons of times for no reason, and I just failed so many times. But I actually got kind of lucky when I was recording this, so I didn't have to restart too many times. But we just used the eagle assassination on him, and then we're done with this mission. So then we move on to the next mission, which is still a part of episode 2 of this DLC, which is called Pieces in Motion. And that one also has 2 full sync objectives, and the first one isn't that bad. You basically just have to go to this tavern and you play a short like checker game with some guy, which is basically just taking the place of like a cutscene, because they tell you you have to beat him. Like he tells you, oh, like you have to beat me to get my information, But then you don't even end up finishing the game because the game is like press square to rage quit. So then you press square to rage quit, and then you just have to fight all the guys. So then in that fight, you just have to use 3 contextual kills, which is pretty easy because you're in such a small area that you're not going to be able to not use a contextual kill, so you might as well go for the full sync, because it's kind of impossible not to. But I just use the wolf cloak animal ability just to get into the tavern easier, because if you don't, you just have to kill everyone out front, which would waste time. So then you just have to get up to this checker player guy, and then I just decided to speed up the game part because, like I said, you're not required to actually finish the game. You don't win or lose it. You just play the game until until all the dialogue finishes, and then you just start up the fight.
Very well, but let's make it quick.
So then the checkers game actually starts, and basically I don't think it matters what pieces you move or in like what order. You just have to move pieces until all the dialogue happens, and once all the dialogue is finished, you just get into the fight, and then you can do the full sync. But the second full sync for this mission is what makes this mission dumb, and you have to complete the investigation without getting detected, which is really dumb because the area where you're investigating has like tons of enemies and like I think like 2 or 3 dogs, and the dogs in this DLC can detect you easily because they have such a long range that they can like smell you from, and if you're using a wolf cloak near them, they can take you out of your wolf cloak immediately if they get close to you. So if they detect you, they just like force you out of your stealth mode, and you just get detected, which is kind of dumb. But I also kind of got lucky while doing this mission, and it didn't take me too long to do, but I've had other times where I was doing this mission for hours just because I was stuck on the investigation. But basically we just throw this chair at this guy and then break tables with the other 2 people. And then we're done with this mission. We're done with this full sync objective for this mission, rather. So now that's the full sync objective done. And then we just have to finish the rest of this fight. And then we'll get to the actual investigation part. And just fight all of these guys. And once I kill this guy, then these other people should actually join in the fight. I wish you could actually like continue your combo kill chain onto the people that are like when they join the fight before they join it, because you can't attack them before they join the fight, but you can attack them after they join the fight. But I wish you could like continue at the point where they officially join the fight. I wish you could officially continue your combo chain on them, but you can't, and it's dumb. And I don't know why Thief Challenges is coming up, because like I said in the last video, when I was like doing the full sync objective where you have to kill the 5 guards at the church, I killed them from a hiding spot, and it came up with Thief Challenges, like kill enemies from hiding spot, and I was like, why? So that kind of confused me, because I 100%ed this game before, and I'm just replaying the missions on my 100% file, so I don't know why the Thief Challenges are showing up. And I don't even know why they're showing up in the DLC, because they're not even in the DLC officially. Like, there's no guild challenges you have to do in the DLC to 100% it. So I don't know why they're showing up in the DLC. It's just confusing and dumb. But this is the part where you actually have to do the investigation. And you spawn out here every time you restart checkpoints, so you basically have to just fly over the wall every single time if you fail. So I just go around the ledge here to try to not get seen by this guy. And even though I didn't really fail this mission too many times, it still took me a while to do, just because it's just so slow of a mission. Because you have to like, be careful about every single thing you're doing just to not get detected. Especially with the dogs. I'm just trying to like figure out where I should go and what's a good place to hide and not get seen. just so I can have a good vantage point of where all the enemies are. This is the first part where I get detected and have to restart. Because this, I try to get into this bush, but then the AC3 mechanics screw me because you can't go down into a bush and hide in it when you get seen like you can in AC4, which when we get to AC4 in this video, you actually see me do it, because that game is better designed, and it's not as broken and glitchy and weird. So then I get seen in the bushes, and then I get screwed, and I just evil assassinate this guy just because I don't care. I don't think you have to kill him because he's not close enough to the part where you have to investigate that whole field, but I still kill him anyway just because I wanted to. So then I try swimming back here again, and I go into a different bush now because I don't want to get seen again by the same people. And then I use something that I actually never really use in the DLC, which is this wolf pack mechanic, where once you unlock the wolf skill ability in episode 1, you get this ability, which basically replaces your assassin recruits, because technically you're not an assassin in the DLC because it takes place in an alternate universe. So you have like 3 wolves that you can spawn that will just hunt out enemies and kill them for you, as long as they're close enough and can see the enemies. Also, that horse is freaking out. I guess like me spawning the wolves and the wolves killing the enemies for me made the horses go crazy and freak out and get scared. And then that one horse got stuck on the barrels or the feeding trough or whatever that is. The horses in this game are just dumb and don't make any sense. I just fire poison dart at that guy. And thief challenges again for some reason. I don't know why. So I tried to like equip my wolf cloak to like so I can kill them stealthily, because even when you're cloaked with the wolf cloak ability, you can still move around and you can still kill people with it. And like, you're basically it's basically a mobile hiding spot, so you're basically able to move and kill people whenever you're using it. But like I said, if you're too close to dogs, then they'll force you out of it, which is dumb. And the detection range for the dogs is just so incredibly large, and they can detect you so quickly because their meter fills up even faster than a person. I guess because dogs have better noses and can smell easier than people. But it's still dumb. So then I try to shoot the guy with the bow, but then he's too far away, so I can't. And then the dog ends up detecting me because he has such a long range. So then I go back here to like try to lead the dog over here. Because once they start detecting you, they just like start chasing you down to like alert everyone. Then I try to shoot him again, I'm out of range. So you can see the dog coming. Look how quickly they come, and how quickly they detect you. And I didn't realize that the guy who has the dog with him also came over, so I tried to shoot the dog with the bow, but I didn't see the guy who owns the dog. So then I got detected by the guy who owns the dogs, and it was just bad. But I think this is the attempt where I actually end up doing it, but it still takes me a while just because of how long and tedious this mission can be. But then I just run around this wall. I don't even go above it this time, I just run around it. This is also the same fort location or whatever, where in the main story in like sequence 2 or whatever, when you're still playing as Haytham, this is the place where the mission where you have to free the slaves from Silas happens. So that's pretty interesting, I guess, but also the DLC just reuses the same maps from the main game, and I didn't bother making new maps, so I guess it's not that interesting. I don't know. I don't know what that guy's doing. I think he's like standing on a bench or whatever. I don't know what. The AI for like all the enemies and like the horses and dogs and basically everything just gets stuck on like every piece of geometry in this game, and it's really annoying. So I whistle to bring this guy over, but what I don't realize is that that whistle also brings the guy to my right over, because I didn't know he was there. So then I kill this guy, and somehow the other guy doesn't see me. And I move over here, and that guy just comes out of nowhere. Like, where did he even come from? If I wasn't in the wolf cloak and I just ran out of the bush like a normal person, and like wasn't using the wolf cloak, I think he would have saw me and I would have got detected and failed. So I honestly don't even know where he came from. I'm just dumb. I don't know if he heard me because of the whistle, but then if he did hear me because of the whistle, he would have showed up at the same time as the other guy I killed with after I used the whistle. So I don't know if he just like spawned there from nothing. I don't know what was up with that one guy. So I tried to use the wolf ability again, but they're not like close enough to kill all the guards. And there's actually a guard in one of these tents that I'm trying to like find. Like I can see the red dot on my map, but I don't know where he is because I didn't realize he was in that tent. And since the wolves that I have with me don't really attack people unless they actually see the people, they're not attacking him either, so they can't kill him for me. So I'm just like being confused by where the red dot is because I don't know where the enemy is. And I try to lead the dog over here. Just because you can lead the dog over with some bait and like, separate them from their owner and kill them, which is pretty easy to do. Or like, what's a good strategy, but sometimes it's not easy to do because sometimes you have to get close enough for them to smell the bait once you throw it down, but you also have to be far away enough for them to not detect you, because if they're detecting you, they focus on you and not the bait, so it's kind of dumb. And here, I don't know what happens, but like the wolf gets stuck on the tree and doesn't attack the one scout guy, and then the other wolf that I have goes and attacks the other person. So the wolves kind of freak out. Because like I was saying earlier, all the things in this game just get stuck on all the geometry. So I try to like go as far away from the other dog as possible because I didn't even realize the other dog was there. And I saw the yellow meter detecting me, so it's like, ooh, I have to run away because I didn't want to get detected, so I just ran away as possible, as far away as possible. And then I go here to try to get these guys because I don't want to see them. I don't want to have them see me while I'm investigating the things I have to investigate because they can still do that. Even though you can investigate while you're in wolf cloak mode, it still depletes your health because every time you use an animal power, it depletes your health to like force you to use it for a small amount of time, so you're not just spamming them. So it's more balanced, I guess. But when you're investigating the things you have to actually investigate, you can use the wolf cloak and it still depletes your health, but if you don't use the wolf cloak, you can still get seen by people if you don't kill all the enemies. So it's kind of dumb. So you kind of have to either sacrifice health or sacrifice, or like risk getting seen.
These his fingers?
So then I get seen by some other guy when I'm investigating the thing, and I don't even know where he came from. Like I could have sworn I already killed one of the dog people over there, but then a second one spawns for some reason. So then I just lead him to the bush and kill him. There's still that other dog up in the straight road part up to the fort. So then, like, they start detecting me because they can still detect when the wolf cloak, but I'm not close enough to get forced out of it. But I still don't want to risk it, so then I just shoot him with a bow. Even though there's no human near him, I still don't want to risk getting close to him just because he could loot other people. So now I just investigate the second thing I have to investigate. And then I have to go question a witness. And that's kind of why I started killing people on this side of the area, because I remembered that I had to go over here at the end, so I wanted to make sure I would have no one see me. But once you talk to this guy, the mission's practically over, so I kind of got lucky with this mission, but it still took me a while to do just because of how tedious it is and how slow you have to be. Just be slow and careful and methodical. And that's it for that mission. And then that's actually it for AC3. So then the next mission we have is in Liberation, which I guess is still technically kind of AC3 because it's bundled in AC3 Remastered. And that's how I'm playing this. For this mission, you have to complete it in 5 minutes and also not get hit and take no damage, which can be kind of dumb because I already failed it at the beginning, where Agate just like attacks you for no reason. And I don't know why he throws a smoke bomb down because it never seems to like stun me. Like smoke bombs are meant to like stun the people you throw it at, and you can also get stunned by smoke bombs that people throw in other games if they're able to throw smoke bombs. But for some reason it never seems to stun me whenever he throws down a smoke bomb. But basically what I do for this mission is like he always spawns 3 enemies in like each area, but you can, before they officially spawn, you can get behind one of them and just do a stealth assassination behind one of them, but you don't have enough time to do it on one, so you still have to fight the other 2 in combat. But then I can never really tell like what strategy to use for the enemies because like they don't have like the same models as in normal AC3. So I always memorize like how to kill enemies based on what their model is, like if they're a grenadier or a captain or whatever. But Liberation has unique models and doesn't have the same models as AC3, so I don't know like what type of enemy they are. So then I just run away from Agate at that first part, because if I run away, he doesn't chase me, because then the game just cuts to black and makes me go into the next section, because that first section is like so incredibly short. You just have to make sure you don't fail in the first section. And then in this other part, he actually spawns 2 waves of enemies, even though in all the other parts he only spawns 1 wave. And you just have to kill all these 3 enemies. And I gotta disarm them because, like, in my last attempt, in like one of the attempts that you just saw, I tried to counter kill them and it didn't work, so I did disarm them and then kill them. And we go into the next section, but I used the same strategy where I just get behind one of the enemies immediately and just do like the tomahawk sneak attack kill on them. So I just get behind this guy and just kill the other guys on him. And I also use smoke bombs just so I can stun them easier.
It's an illusion.
So now we have this next section where we have to kill the ones over here. And then I just use the same thing again. And I kill that guy, and then use smoke bombs again to kill these guys. Okay. And then this last one, I think, is the last part where you have to kill enemies. So if you just follow the strategy, you can easily do this and no damage. Because once you stun a smoke bomb, they can't do anything to you. And it can be easy to finish it in 5 minutes. Because like, you're just killing them so quickly. I honestly even forgot that doing this in 5 minutes was a thing you had to do, because I just do it so quickly. So I focus more on the take no damage full sync objective rather than the do it in 5 minutes one, because the timer is like so free. Like even if you take damage and you don't restart checkpoint, you can still easily do this within 5 minutes. Like that one's so easy, but the take no damage one, people might have trouble with it if they don't know the strategy of just getting behind one of the enemies and then just throwing smoke bombs at the rest. But that's basically it for this mission. You just skip this cutscene and then you're done with this mission. And then we actually get into a good game, which is AC4. So then we have Sequence 9 Memory 2, Trust is Earned, where you have to double assassinate Burgess and Cockrum, and then 3-2 pirate groups. So then in this first part we get to do some naval ship combat, which is better in AC4 than it is in AC3. In the last video when I was doing the ship missions in AC3, I talked about how much better the ship combat is in AC4 than AC3, and it definitely is. I don't get to see it here, because you can actually aim the cannons manually. You don't have to just like shoot in a straight line, and you can like aim them up and down. It's so much better. And since I'm replaying this mission in 100% file, I already have a fully upgraded ship, so I can just get rid of all these ships pretty easily. And that's the thing I actually almost never do. I rarely ever use fire barrels in this game. But then I was like, you know what, they're behind me, so I might as well use it. But I never use the fire barrels because I never really, like, have ships, like, chase me from behind, so I don't really have a need for it. Whenever I'm playing Rogue, I use the fire thing they give you in that game, because there's a lot more situations where you can use that compared to fire barrels, and it's also easier to use because you don't shoot like 4 separate things at once, so you just have one thing you're shooting, and you can actually like aim where the fire streak goes instead of just shooting at 4 barrels and then they just land in the water in random places. So then we took care of those ships, and then we have to go into Principe, or Principe, I don't know how you say it. And then we get onto land. And the dumb thing about this area is that like you can never like officially dock your ship. Like, there's no like docking place you can dock your ship, so you basically have to just release the wheel for your ship and then just swim to the island, which is kind of dumb. But I just have to swim forever. So we just have to locate the sage, and then once we locate him, then that's when the full sync objectives will actually start. And we have to free 2 pirate groups, which are like pirates that are working for him, or will be part of his crew once he like takes the ship captain's clothes or whatever he does. I just shoot the barrels there and kill all 4 of them at once, just because I just wanted to get through this quickly. And I didn't realize there was one of the ramp branches there, so I just climbed up back to where I was before I fell down. I actually have to climb the gate. You have to go above the gate for some reason. I don't know why the gate's closed, but you have to go above the gate. And here I actually find a sage, and he's like, go free my pirate crew, and then double assassinate the Cockrum Burgess guy. Or guys. The freeing pirate part isn't really that bad, but I've had so many times where I just failed the double assassination full sync objective, because even when I like clearly double assassinated him, in the end it's like, no, you didn't do it, and it just made me fail the full sync even though I clearly did double assassinate them. So I don't know why it's like so strict. Like, you just have to make sure you double assassinate them and then hope that the game gives it to you, because of how many times I've had it fail the full sync objective for me even though I clearly double assassinated them. And we're just making our way to the first pirate area, the area where the pirates are. And I just kill these 2 people, and then I go into this small little area where you can see the guys aiming the guns at the pirates. So now I use the bush trick, where like unlike AC3, you can stand up in a bush and then wait until the bow flashes, and then stand back, crouch back down into the bush and lead them to where you are. And that's a pretty cool bush trick that you can use. But every time I play AC4, I always use that trick, just because of how useful it is. It's just, I think it also works in Origins and Odyssey a little bit. Like, it doesn't work as well in those games, but you can still kind of do it. And it also definitely works in Rogue, because Rogue is just like built off the same systems as AC4, so basically anything you can do in AC4 you can do in Rogue. I'm not sure to air assassinate that guy, but then he sees me from on top of the building, so maybe climbs up, so then I just assassinate him from the back. And I just killed these two guys, and then I saved this first group of pirates. And then I have to work my way to the second group. So then I try to like run past this guy near a haystack, but somehow he sees me, even though it doesn't look like he's looking towards my direction, but somehow he does. It's kind of dumb. I don't know why like games from like AC3 all the way up until now have like bad detection on like whether or not people are actually looking at you and seeing you. Like it always seems like people can see you even though if they're not looking directly at you, which is kind of dumb. Which is why SEO games have like the best mechanics, just because it's like the detection for getting seen in those games is so much better, because that's when Ubisoft actually cared. And I just killed those guys, and then I killed this guy, and then these last two guys, and I saved the last two pirates. And then I go to his viewpoint, and then I jump down, and then we're in the area where you have to kill Burgess and Cockrum. And I pull this guy through the pillar for some reason. His body freaks out. So in here, like normally I've tried to like climb on top of the roofs to the left and like wait for them to get close to each other and double assassinate them. But then I found a strategy where you can go into the middle and then go under this hammock and climb the tower and then see them. Like you can easily find them by going up in this tower. I don't know why it makes me go on the other side of the ladder, even though I wasn't holding that direction to do that, but it just did. So then I go up in the tower and I find them and I scan them and use mission to mark them, which is a good mechanic that this game does. You can mark people in equal vision and see them through walls. So then I just wait on top of this roof for them to come closer, and then once I'm close enough, once they're close enough, I just jump off the roof and double air assassinate them. And I tried this strategy like a few at a time, and it worked perfectly every time. So this is like a consistent strategy instead of what I used to do before. So then they just stand there for a bit, and then I just do it. And for some reason this game doesn't let you skip the confession cutscenes after you kill a target, so I just had to speed this up. But basically that's the end for this mission, so once all these sped up cutscenes are done, that's basically it. And then we have one more mission, or two more missions for AC4 for this video. And then in the next video we'll get to finish up AC4 and then get to other games like Rogue and Unity and Syndicate, and then that will be the end of the series. So we just have to wait for Roberts to stop talking to these guys. You know, it's sped up, like, it still takes a while, because it's how long it is. Then you can't skip this either because it's technically the ending cutscene for the mission, and you can't skip any of those. I don't know why AC4 has so many cutscenes you can't skip, but at least it lets you skip most of them. It's at least not like AC2, where you can't skip any of the cutscenes in the game. Or even AC1, but also AC1 doesn't have like official cutscenes, and all the cutscenes in that game you can still technically move around in. But then we finish that mission, and then we go to Satan's Trollmary 1, which is a governor no longer, where you have to kill the diplomat from the haystack and then kill Rogers on a bench. So I've had a lot of times doing this mission where I tried to kill the guy from the haystack, even though I did it. Like, I had one time when I did this mission where I killed him from the haystack, but then I also got seen either by him or by another guard at the exact same time. So it made me it made me finish the objective, but then also fail and get desynchronized at the exact same time. So I don't know what happened there. I wish I had footage of it, but I don't know if I do. But if I do, I could probably put it in a glitch video and upload it. Unless it was on a different system, but I don't know. I've played multiple versions of this game. I don't know what versions I had weird things happen on. Also, fun fact of this Italian diplomat, they actually got Roger Craig Smith back to voice him after he voiced Ezio in the Ezio games. And also, in the modern day, there's computers that you can hack, and some of the videos that you unlock from hacking them are videos where they talk about the past characters from the past games, and they had Roger Craig Smith in his normal voice narrate those. So that got him back for this game for like 2 roles, which is interesting. So I'm just have to follow this guy that I stack. And I actually forgot which route he was gonna take. I forgot he was gonna go right instead of straight. So then I jumped to this roof, and somehow he doesn't see me, even though he clearly should, but he doesn't. And then that haystack that I just saw in Eagle Vision is the one we kill him from. You could technically wait and have him walk to a different location, where there's a different haystack you can try from a different area. But I always just try to do it from this first one, just because it's the first one, and I just want to get it over with. So then you kill him from the haystack. And then we have to go to this party where Captain Rogers is, and then kill him from the bench. Well, disguised as diplomat person.
Forgive the lateness of my arrival.
So then what I always do is I just enter the area and then I go left, because I know there's a bench immediately to the left that he walks by. So you just have to wait for him to walk by the bench and then kill him from it. So then I go in here and I start getting infected, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't fill up too far. So I just wait at this bench, and I actually speed this up here because of how long it takes him to walk over here. He finishes his dialogue up there, and he walks around the area. He gets stopped by people to talk to. I don't know why he's looking back that way. And then someone starts talking to him, and I just want him to come over here so I can kill him. So then he walks around this corner, and then I don't know if there's actually another bench you can kill him from, but this is the bench that I always choose to kill him from. So I've just never looked around this area before. And again, you can't skip the confession cutscene after you kill him. So I just speed this up. So then he just tells you where Roberts is, because he's the next target you have to kill, and the mission where you kill him is actually the next mission in this video, right after this one. So then once this cutscene finishes, we just have to escape the area and run back to the Assassin Bureau, and then we'll start that mission. And he just walks away, and then escape the area. And then I just kill this one guy, because it's his fault for letting me in, so he died. He should die for it. So then I just run around this one building and hide in a haystack on the other side of it. I think this haystack is the one that the diplomat you have to kill actually goes to if you don't kill him at the first haystack that I killed him at. And then somehow none of the guards try to investigate the haystack, even though they were standing right next to it. But they just walk down the stairs and investigate somewhere else. And then you just have to run back to the bureau. And then that's it for this mission. And then this last mission for this video is gonna be the mission where you kill Roberts. Because that mission is kinda dumb too. And that's the point of this series, to show off these dumb forcing objectives.
Where now?
Grab your kit.
Like, I kind of make these look easy because I've played these games so many times, and I kind of know what I'm doing, but there's still times where I just get screwed by, like, bad RNG or luck or whatever. That's it for that mission, and then we have Sequence Extraordinary 2. So there's a mission right after this one, which is Royal Misfortune. And then you have to kill 8 guards by destroying powder barrels. So you just have to, like, find powder barrels and lead guards next to them and shoot the powder barrels till you blow it up and kill the guards. You do it with 8 guards. You don't have to do it, like, one by one. You don't have to, like, find 8 different powder barrels and shoot and kill 1 guard with each of them. You just have to kill 8 guards total. And this one isn't that hard. At least this full sync objective, but the second full sync objective for this mission is kind of dumb, because it requires you to kill Roberts with the rope dart. But it's kind of, like, badly worded, because it just says kill him with the rope dart. But I've had like a few times where, like, I was fighting him in combat on, like, a solid ground, and I pulled him closer to me with the rope dart, and then I killed him with the hidden blade, and I thought that would count, because I technically used the rope dart to, like, assist me in killing him. But apparently it doesn't count if you do that, because it's not the rope dart that kills him. So the way I circumvent that is I just hang him with the rope dart from the mast of the ship. But right now I'm just trying to, like, get people angry at me and just find the powder barrels to shoot. And I've already killed 2, so I think after I shoot this one I get 6, so I still need 2 more. I still need to find 2 more powder, or I need to find 1 more powder barrel. I don't know why it's so hard to say, but I need to find 1 more powder barrel, and then I have to shoot it to get the last 2 people I need to kill. So I'm just looking for a powder barrel right now. And then I find these 3, and then I just shoot it and kill those 2 guys. And it doesn't matter if you get detected by people, because once you locate where Roberts is, you just have to chase him on your ship, so then these guys just become insignificant and don't matter. So I just run to where he is, because I know who he is already, so then I just go to him, and I have to get on the ship and chase him. I don't know if there's a way, like, where, like, if you're fast enough, you can get onto his ship before it, like, leaves. But if you could, it would probably do some damage. So you have to just have this timer going, and you have to get onto your ship to actually stop the timer and get to the next main objective you have to do. But if you could get onto his ship, that would be interesting. So then you just have to shoot him enough to board the ship. And then you don't actually board him right now, you just have to chase him around this giant rock. You have to go this way because the path gets blocked by the falling rocks that he shoots, I guess. So then you have to go around this way, and then you have to chase him into a more open space where 2 other ships show up that start fighting you. And I think also fight him because he's a pirate, and they're, like, Spanish ships that show up, and they don't like pirates, so they just shoot all the pirates. But you basically it's just to wait until he gets into the area where the other 2 ships are, and then board the ship. Even though you can actually lower his health right now, like I'm doing, but it doesn't let you board him until you get in the area. So even though his health is low enough to the point where, like, I should be able to board him, it still doesn't let me do it, even though, like, I'm repeatedly shooting him over and over again. And his health is, like, stuck at the lowest point, and he's not going down anymore. Like, once his health reaches this area, he's basically just invincible until he reaches the location where he has to be for the stripper event to happen. It's pretty interesting about how this mission works. You know, you can easily lower his health to the point where you have to board him. It doesn't let you do it until that one part. We're basically almost to the part where you have to, when that other ship show up and you can actually board him. So he's just like shooting mortars. He shoots them ahead of him for some reason, even though I'm behind him. So I don't know what his plan was there. He also keeps dropping fire barrels. You can shoot the fire barrels at this war on the truck as long as it's not in this invincible state. So then there's these two other ships. And then finally we're at the point where you can actually board a ship. You know, we were saying board the Whale of Fortune the whole time, because you know you do it until now. I'm still shooting the other ships, but now there's like, you know, I might as well just finish it now. I don't need to
There's
kill
a
the other
device
two
with
ships.
him that needs taking. I'll have to board her myself.
So now I just have to wait for the ships to line up. And then I'll go up to... I use this lever, use the lift to go up here. I'm just waiting for the ships to get close enough to where I can go to his. I tried to climb up to this beam, but it doesn't let me until I jump like that. I almost got pushed off of it when I manually jumped upwards. But I'm not close enough to where he is. So I climb up here, and then I go across the ropes to the other middle mast. I don't know ship terminology, so I don't know if it has an official name or whatever. But I just go over there and wait for him to get close enough to hang the rope part. And once I hang the rope, the end of this mission after the confession cutscene, which again you can't skip for some reason, so I had to speed up. And I just hung him and then just can't skip this cutscene for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't let you skip it. Because AC3 changes how you skip cutscenes, because in the part 1 of this series, you saw me in Brotherhood and Revelations having to pause the game to skip the cutscene, but in AC3 and every game afterwards, you have to skip cutscenes by holding circle while the cutscene's actually playing. So you don't have to like pause the game. But for some reason it doesn't let you skip these cutscenes. Even though they changed like how skipping cutscenes works, it doesn't let you do it anymore. At least in these confession cutscenes. But anyway, that's the end of this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So stay tuned for the last part where we'll get to Unity and Syndicate and Rogue and finish up AC4.